Hi there, good morning. I apologize if the video lags like the last live video. I think it might be my internet, thanks to Spectrum. I woke up this morning and I did not expect to do a live video. I really love doing them, they're awesome. Um, if you have not seen my channel already, please check it out. It does help me out as an independent artist and designer. I do a lot of videos on watercolor painting and illustration, how to incorporate that into like your career trajectory, and then also professional development as a designer. I'm not going to do any shameless plugs in this video. It's really not about promoting my work and what I do. This is more about sharing information that I just discovered this morning. So before I get into the topic, I'm going to have a sip of coffee. You're welcome to join me. It's early. I'm not a morning person. And yeah. Oh, man. So I woke up this morning and I came in to my desk because I am one of those people that just gets straight to work. And I opened up my email and I had an email from Pinterest. And last night, I was trying to run an ad for my watercolor course that I'm launching, and I'm planning on launching it this week. And it's a class that's intended, I'm just going to describe it real quick. It's intended for beginners who like feel intimidated by watercolor painting for the first time, and maybe they just don't want to have to learn how to draw first because watercolor can be a little bit intimidating. So I started developing this class about 3 months ago. I've been working on all of the content for it in the modules, excuse me. And last night I was going to run an ad because here I am ready to launch my class. I'm excited. I'm thinking social media is here for me. I haven't been running paid ads for my work, but now's the time. You know, now is when I'm going to dump my ad budget into these platforms. And I thought, you know what? Pinterest is number one. I'm doing this. I'm spending the money. Pinterest is number one. So I start building out my ad and I figure out, all right, I think I'll just, I'm going to try out $50, you know? And so I get to the very end and I'm about to launch it. I click the button and it disappears. My ad just disappears. Like I spent 40 minutes building this out. Like I created graphics for this. I'm a graphic designer. So everything had to look the way that I wanted it to look, and the copy, because I'm a writer, I have a background in English. It had to look perfect. And so I literally felt my heart stop when I realized that the ad center said nothing. Like it had zero ads. And I'm looking at the top of the dashboard and it says, you know, there's been an error with your account. Please consult the help center. Great. I'm thinking like another 30 minutes out of my life. I promise all of this is relevant. It is relevant. So I get to the very end of launching my ad and I have to go to the help center. I report what happened and I go, look, I was trying to publish an ad. I'm trying to give you guys money and you don't seem to want to take it. And so then I don't get any response. So I email that out and I think, all right, tomorrow I'll deal with this. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go to bed. It's okay. It's not the end of the week. I still have time to promote this watercolor class that I'm doing. Well, I wake up this morning to an email that just doesn't make any sense. And I look at my ad center, the ad's still not there. And so I'm going to read it to you. It says, Carl from Pinterest support. Sure. Hi. While many copyright owners are happy to have their content on Pinterest, others may not want their work on Pinterest or might not have been credited for the pin. When a copyright owner sends us a complete notice per the Digital Millennial Copyright Act, identifying specific pins, we have to remove the pins in accordance with our legal obligation. I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. That's totally cool. This has happened to me by accident before. People have wanted their stuff removed. And I just have to comment briefly because when I share other people's work, I keep their link and their credit to them. So like their information is in the pin. It's in no way my work. So I'm thinking, I'm a little confused. So the email continues, we cannot be sure of every copyright owner's reasons for pins removal, so you might consider contacting the copyright holder if you need more information. We also suggest making sure that pins are correctly credited and linked back to their original source. So, all right, that's all totally fine. Maybe I upset someone because I pinned their work to a board, or maybe I pinned it to the wrong, I don't know. But then I'm thinking, why are you telling me this when I'm telling you that my ad center's having a problem? Like, are you assuming that my ad content was stolen? Because those were my photos, like those were my watercolor paintings. So suddenly I'm getting like really angry, and I'm clicking around, Pinterest, trying to figure out, how do I find this person who filed a Digital Millennium Copyright Act against me? Like, how do I find this person? It tells me to message them. I don't know who did this. I mean, did someone do this? Is this what's going on with my account? Is this why I can't run ads? Anyways, lots of questions and lots of confusion. And I feel really, really bad because, maybe I upset another fellow artist, and, here I am, a watercolor artist. I'm thinking, if someone ripped off my art and pretended like it was theirs, I'd be really upset. So a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts are going through my mind. And I'm thinking, when are you going to release my account so that I can publish an ad? So I turn to the internet and I'm like, all right, I need to find out information on how to see if I've infringed on a copyright. And I pull up this article that I'm going to share with you. And you should definitely look it up. If you have not read this, it is eye-opening. And just a little context, I have 500,000 viewers on my Pinterest account every month. It fluctuates below 500,000, but at one point I had 600 to 700,000 impressions per month. I had a lot. And on a lot of my pins, like my personal work, I'll get, 8 to 15,000 impressions and, 3 to 800 saves. So I'm thinking, wow, I've built up this account for 2 years and now it's damaged. Someone decided to damage it because they think that I make a lot of money, but I don't. So all of this is swimming around in my mind, and then I run across this article. So the title of the article is, "A lawyer who is also a photographer just deleted all her Pinterest boards out of fear." It's published by Business Insider. It is about the legality of Pinterest. After reading this article, I have to tell you that I've spent 2 years building up my Pinterest account and being careful. And now I feel like I'm going to shut it down. I might actually make all my boards completely private now and lose the 500,000 impressions of traffic and exposure just because of how unethical this platform is. And long story short, the attorney says that after reading Pinterest terms of service, which I discuss Instagram and Facebook's terms of service in a previous live video, so check that out if you're interested. But that's why I'm doing a live video, because it is very clear that Pinterest is not protecting the artists that are on the platform. So it says in here, basically, that in all caps, you acknowledge and agree that to the maximum extent permitted by law, the entire risk arising out of your access to and use of the site, applications, services, and site content remains with you. Meaning, no one can sue Pinterest, but they can sue you. And the worst part is, they also said in the article that not only would you pay your own attorney's fees, you'd also have to pay for Pinterest's attorney fees. And I'm thinking, how does this hurt small artists who are barely scraping by? I'm not saying all artists are not making money, but I work full time. I work really hard for my money, and I work really hard to build up my portfolio and to do my work. And I can't speak for other artists who don't want to have their work shared by other artists, but I can speak for the fact that having a social media platform take advantage of their users by saying, hey guys, it's not my fault that you use our platform. It's not my fault if you get sued. I can take down your content at any moment. That does upset me. So as of right now, I might potentially be making all my boards private and then migrating my content to somewhere else. It makes me like want to cry because I almost had 1 million impressions a month on that platform. It was like the hope and the ray of light coming through for a small artist to have that kind of exposure to their work. And now to feel like if I go to Instagram or Facebook, I have to dump so much money into ads just to get real exposure. I also heard that hashtags are going to be less relevant on Instagram. So suddenly, like, you're putting all this time and effort into researching and putting out content that's quality, but then also positioning it correctly as a brand, and it might not even matter. So I have definitely been investing more time into MeWe and 500 pixels. I know I mentioned that in the other video, but I want to say it again, because if you're an artist and you're putting a lot of time into Pinterest or a lot of money into ad spend, make sure that you're collecting emails. Make sure that you're doing your email list. This is something that I got lazy about and didn't do. And I really regret it now, because now I'm looking at these platforms wishing that I could just back off from them and completely not use any of them. And it's just not possible. And I keep asking myself, how does a small artist really organically grow in this century? I mean, social media is great, but there's just not, there's just no potential for organic growth right now. It is a pay-to-play system. And a marketing manager that I worked with really closely about 1.5 years ago, within their marketing team, I was a senior designer. She hit it on the head. Like she said, it is a pay-to-play system. If you don't dump the money in, you're not going to get anywhere. And it is so true. Pinterest is going down the same path as Instagram and Facebook. A lot of these platforms are changing by the day, and you really have to have a plan for the future, because when these platforms, if people, massively migrate to a different place because they're upset with it and hate it, you need a backup plan, and that's going to be the newsletter. That's going to be your email list of people that love your work. But I don't have an answer right now as to how to get people on that list, because it seems like you still have to dump the ad spend in to get them there. So I hope this video wasn't too depressing or long. I really just wanted to share this information. That article was dated back to 2012. I think it's a little bit shocking. I didn't realize just how controversial this platform is. I didn't realize that I could get sued. I don't think anyone really thinks about that beforehand, because we think it's a public sphere that your work could be shared. But I definitely want to say, if you're on Pinterest, go look up their terms of service, go check it out before you invest so much time into the platform. I wouldn't want to see anyone else like me get sued, because we're small artists and we can't afford it. We can barely afford our rent right now. So yeah. And then please check out my other videos and like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. It's not me in a big corporation. It's just me. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in and for watching the video. I look forward to connecting with you in the future.